problems, failures, they are a feature to this game of life. But yet we always want to act as if they are some sort of bug, as if they don't belong and shouldn't be a part of this process. But yet if we take a step back and try to just imagine a world where we wake up one day and, oh, never going to have another problem again, it's not even conceivable, because problems are inevitable. It's up to us to do the decoding behind the messages that God presents to us, and then ultimately use those messages, those problems, as fuel to propel us forward on our journey. Because that's what they are. Problems, failures, they are nothing more than an invitation for us to learn, grow, develop, and get better. But for us to be able to see things from a positive light, we have to be in a positive state of being. The problem is that here in Western society, it's been ingrained into us this negative default disposition. Everyone is always operating from their sympathetic nervous system. They're stuck in fight or flight all day long. That's accompanied, of course, with your jealousy, anger, frustration, guilt, all these negative emotions. And whenever you're in a negative state of being all day or almost all day, it's really hard to see things or frame things from a positive frame of light. But when in fact, if we're able to downregulate our nervous system and operate from a parasympathetic nervous system, accompanied with joy, happiness, fulfillment, all positive emotion, even when negative things happen to us, we're usually able to find the silver lining and take these pieces of the puzzle and fit them where they belong so we can ultimately see the bigger picture. And that's the real game of life, guys. That's the fun part of life, is knowing that everything in this world, it's not happening to us. We always want to act like, oh, life's not fair. Things just happen to me. Wow. And that's the world that we live in. So it's normal. You see everyone else acting that way, so you feel, oh, how am I any different? No, life's just not fair. But when in fact it is. And everything happens for you, not to you. But it is up to you to do the decoding. It is up to you to read between the lines and then see where you go from here, from the situations that are the hands that have been dealt to you. And whenever you're able to put the emotion aside and really dissect these situations, well, it's the difference between paddling upstream every day and coasting down it. And wouldn't you rather just be creating momentum and riding that wave downstream instead of feeling like you're paddling up it every day? You know, there's a really big aha moment for me a couple years back when I first started on my self-development and personal growth journey. I had just purchased a vehicle. And so I work for a property management company. You know, my office is right next to my apartment. I don't need anything fancy because I don't drive that much. I don't have to drive to and from work. I just needed something to kind of get me around. And so I bought like an older model Nissan Altima. Had, like 150,000 miles on it. But for as little as I drive, that's good. It's going to get me around for several years still. Then I went ahead and, tinted the windows, put a sound system in the vehicle. All these materialistic vanity things that are completely unnecessary, but yet we like to look cool for other people in our cars. We all do. We're all victims of it. But God really had a way of just kind of ripping that big materialistic purchase away from me and seeing what I was going to do about it. It wasn't but a few months after I had purchased the car and pimped my ride where I hit an unavoidable fiberglass ladder on the interstate. Punctured through my grill and my radiator. Got my radiator fixed even. Went and paid like another $900 for that. And then a few weeks later, the engine's knocking and warped the head gasket. And, based on the age and the miles of the vehicle, it makes no sense to put a new engine in the car. It's basically totaled. It's like, what was it, 8-9 grand at least down the drain. And that was a very big aha moment for me. You always have to pay the price to get the thing. Sometimes the price you got to pay is a little bit more obvious than others, but I'm going to get back to that point in a minute. In this point, or this situation, I paid a pretty big price to get that aha moment, because my mind was able to really compartmentalize the situation. And first and foremost, my brother and my dad were with me, and I was more than grateful that they were okay. But then I took this situation and was like, Jake, you've been talking about wanting to take this next step in self-development, really focusing more on like isolation and solitude. This is your chance. Like, what do you need a car for? It's only for more distraction. You know, you don't need to get to and from work. Your office is right there. Then also it's like I was wanting, like then I was in this mindset of really wanting to start biking again, cycling. I don't know if it was just because like the nostalgic aspect of missing riding a bike growing up or what, I don't know. But I wanted to get a bike. So, okay. Jake, you don't need a car. It's nothing but going to cause more distraction on your growth. You made a materialistic purchase, or made a purchase and then tried to add materialistic things to it for reasons other than to look cool in your car. Let's just call a spade a spade. And then also you said you want a bike. Like, so all these things are adding up in a situation, presented me with a situation to take something away from the situation, take something away from this problem that was presented to me, and then recycle it and better myself. Get around on a bike more often, which is more healthy. Focus more on my growth and development. Stop distracting myself with bullshit by just going around flying by the seat of my pants every day. And it really resonated with me at that moment. Like, Jake, this is working. The old you would be so pissed right now. That's like, again, like 9 grand down the drain. And I didn't even like bat an eye at it. It just was like, okay, this is what happened. This is where you go from here. And that's the way problems are invitations to our growth and to our development. Sometimes it's a little bit harder than others to kind of see the bigger picture, but whenever we get used to doing these sort of things and operating from our parasympathetic nervous system and not just in frazzled, spazzed out fight or flight response all day, we're able to really take a step back and assess the situation that was presented to us. Okay, how did I get in this situation? It's always from our own decision making. We have to have accountability and self-awareness to be able to see that and admit to that. Regardless if the latter was unavoidable, I still was in the situation because of the decisions that I made up to that point. And it's always like, okay, this has happened to you. You got yourself in this situation. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to take from this situation to ultimately propel you forward on your journey? And there's always opportunities if we're able to see things that way. We have to stop looking at them as obstacles. Again, this is the difference between operating from our parasympathetic nervous system, opportunities, sympathetic, obstacles. And even more so recently, like with my YouTube channel, I've been posting a lot of the shorts. You know, my mindset was to really kind of grow the channel through shorts based on like the reach that it was getting. And you know, let's be real, people have short attention spans. So I thought it would be a good strategy to at least kind of gain a foundation with my channel. And it was, you know, I mean, I was growing at my pace and really not really too worried about the metrics, but it was growing. Until recently, then all of a sudden, like I had like several shorts that I uploaded and were getting no views. I mean, like 10 to 12 views all of a sudden. It wasn't like my shorts before were just getting crazy reach, but this was a drastic drop off out of nowhere because I was doing the same thing. And I didn't really understand the why behind it initially, you know, and the old me would have been like, oh, well, life's not fair. This ain't fair. Algorithms working against you. Maybe you're not cut out for this. Maybe it's just a big waste of time. Man. But no, that's not the way that I'm going to be, or I am now. It's not the person I used to be that way. I used to be someone who would just want to quit and roll over anytime the times got hard. Blah, blah, blah. But I think that those situations growing up, those failures, have also shaped me into the person that I am. And that's the thing, guys. We're going to get knocked down. Like, that's, again, part of this journey. It's okay to get knocked down. But what's not okay is just to stay down. It's never okay. So get back up and dust yourself off and move forward. Figure out how you got in this situation and where you go. And for this, it was like, okay, Jake, this has happened to you. Clearly the shorts isn't working anymore, or for whatever reason. It's time to pivot. It's time to take that next step. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use that problem or that failure that I experienced as fuel for my growth for myself and also on my YouTube channel. I'm going to stop leaving a meat on the bones, for lack of a better term, and really start diving more into how I can present these topics in more of a long form format. Because that's the long play, and that is ultimately what my goal is anyway. So let's just expedite that process, use this little failure as the opportunity to get better and start diving more into this. And that's when life really becomes enjoyable. Whenever you're able to frame every situation that is presented to you into some sort of positive experience. Some more than others, but there's always some silver lining there that's hidden within the messaging, and it's up to you to decode the why. God is always going to present us with situations that we are capable of handling, but we just have to be the bigger man or woman in doing so. And the thing is that, I kind of hinted at this earlier, it's like we always have to pay the price to get the thing. You know what I mean? And whenever I say that, I know that initially we think of, materialistic purchases through monetary transactions. Pay the price, get the thing. But that's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is the thing is the life that we want. Our dream scenario, our desired outcomes. That's the thing. The price that we have to pay to get that thing is the problems or the failures that we have. We just have to leverage those problems, those failures, those situations to continue to propel us forward to get the thing that we want. You pay the price and you get the thing. Or you stay stuck in your emotions and don't use the situations to your benefit. Yeah, it's not always easy. It's never supposed to be easy, guys. It's supposed to be hard. But it is simple. And it's always going to come down to our state of being, our mindset. And these are things that we can't just, say into existence. We have to practice certain things to downregulate our nervous system and operate from a parasympathetic state of being. And these are things that aren't taught in Western society, but it's very, very straightforward. I mean, cold plunging, sauna, meditation, yoga, practicing gratitude, the list goes on. But yet these are things that none of us ever want to do for some reason. But in the long run, they're the key to a happy and fulfilled life. If you've continued to listen thus far, I appreciate the shit out of you. I'm going to continue to post and upload content with some bit of consistency and really help others on their journey. Because that's my purpose. That's why I'm here and what I want to do. And again, if you've continued to listen thus far, that means everything to me. So a long road ahead, and I'm looking forward to every bit of it. And I hope that you can join me. So with that being said, click like, subscribe, enjoy the ride.